Okay, so the last time we did a progress here, we were had finished up the slabs, and just as a kind of a time lapse, that was about 2 weeks worth of work forming, pouring, waiting for them to cure, pulling the forms off, putting the next forms on, getting ourselves built up. We're on our foundation now. We've got 70,000 pounds, 18 yards of concrete as our base, plus the fill, the beach sand and so forth that we put in underneath the slab. So we got a pretty good anchor here. We're not going to blow away. So let's go ahead and talk about, we got the building framed up here, and all the interior framing is done. I'm going to walk you inside here in a second, but you can see that we got it all sheeted in. Outside here, the next step is going to be putting the roofing trusses on, which are coming up here pretty quick. The lumber package is being delivered. Now we're putting the sill seal on the stem wall, getting ready to put the pressure treated sill plates on top of that, which is what we're drilling in place to put over the top of the J bolts that anchor the walls to the structure of the foundation. The sill seal is the foam pink substance we're putting in between there to seal up between the concrete and the lumber.
And why do you do that? Insulation?
No, not insulation, more of a weather predicting.
Keep the bugs out?
Yeah, it keeps the bugs out. You got two different materials there, so they're coming together, and you need a little gasket in there to cover the two up. So we're just laying out the top and bottom plates to the wall right now, so that we can put the studs in between the two and nail them together and stand that wall up.
What was he doing on the bottom plate there?
Just lining the marks up for the studs on both the bottom and the top plate, and indicating where the window's going to go. And then we're just going to set that back 8 feet, and we're going to start laying the studs in right now along the pattern that we marked off on the two plates, and then we'll be nailing those into the top plate, since the bottom plate's already bolted onto the foundation, and then we'll tip it up onto there and nail it.
And it was just the two of you did this?
Yeah, it's because we didn't.
How long did it take you?
Took us 5.5 hours to frame up all 4 of the exterior walls. I think they got the 2 little interior walls in there with that as well. But it makes it pretty fast. We got a air nailer there, and just popping some nails into the top of the studs and attach them to that top plate, and then we'll tip that up and toenail them into the bottom plate, and we'll have a wall standing. We're getting ready to tip up that first partial right there. That's just because we had a 20-foot bottom plate, and so we added the 4-foot section there on the end.
So I noticed that you don't have the sheeting on the wall. How come? Before you stand it up?
It's lighter to stand up, but just the two of us. A 24-foot wall with sheeting would probably take about 5 people to tip up, and makes it a lot more awkward and hazardous to try to pick up that much wall. So there's the second wall going in. There's the interior walls and the back walls. Interior walls are framed. You can see we're just nailing in the header right there for the kitchen window. That's all the sheeting on.
How long did that take you?
It took us about 3 hours or so to pop all those sheets on. And then that's the front beams to the porch where the trusses are going to come out and sit on top of those, all squared up and level ready.
Nice.
So the building's been braced and squared and leveled, and this is the truss package being delivered by the crane.
Yes, this was a very exciting day for your camera person, since it swung up over top of my head.
And we're swinging half a dozen 40-foot long trusses, about 40 feet up in the air. It's kind of exhilarating, I guess.
Yeah, just a little.
So the back gable truss is on. We're just delivering about half of the center trusses onto the top of the wall. And then the other half will get delivered kind of laying crossways the other direction onto those. And then we'll be putting the other gable truss in on the opposite side of the building there. That's that
Right.
one. So
And
those
those
are the
are
first
framed
two.
differently.
Yeah, they're the end wall trusses, so there's going to be a lot of sheeting on those. So we put those two up, get them braced, and then all the rest of the trusses go in between on 2-foot centers.
How long did that take you guys? I noticed there's 3 of you since they're big.
You know, I want to say that probably took us about 90 minutes. It wasn't very long at all that we just tipped those up. So it's, you know, because they're so long, we got one guy there nailing the front end, and then the other guy right there on the ladder is nailing the one end on the back wall, and then I'm tipping them up and holding them and balancing them while they toenail them in and brace them across the top there so that they stay 2 feet apart, so they stay nice and square. And they're not too bad to move. I mean, they're a little awkward, but they're not very heavy.
You know, seeing them up, I'm super, super happy that we did our trusses the way we did that, with it being over the top of the porch as well as the house. Like the peak is centered from the full length of the slabs, including the patio, and I just love that, versus having a different roof over the patio.
Yeah.
I really like that look.
Yeah, it looks good, I think, and it gives us a good solid roofing system over
Yes.
the top of the entire structure. We got a high wind area that we're building in. Wintertime winds can easily top 70 miles an hour, gusting higher, so this is a good solid construction method for this area.
Yeah, I'm really, really happy about that. I think that turned out really nice, just the overall look. So now next we're going to put some sheeting on after this, and got lots of video to show everybody that I did of that, and the actual roofing material going on itself. We decided to do the asphalt shingles, which we're totally stoked about and happy. Originally we were going to do metal, and I'm glad we changed our mind. So yeah, it's been a fun journey so far. We're rocking and rolling. So trying to get all this editing done up so I can share it with all of you.
Right, so there's about a 90-minute process there for the rest of these trusses. Took us another hour and a half to put all the sheeting on the deck of the roof, and then we were trimmed up and ready to put the shingling on and get it dried in.
So I'll get that next video going for you, and hopefully get it up here in the next few days to a week. But she looks good.